Okay, so following on, it just something that happened to me today made me want to make this video as well as a follow up. And it's about advising people and giving people advice. Now, I used to do this all the time because when you see a situation from the outside, you can kind of get a really good idea of what's going to happen if somebody does something. It's like when you have a third eye perspective, you really can see things that the person that's in it and emotionally connected to it can't see. So often you think, well, that would be great to give advice. And whilst I do think it is good to offer a perspective, to actually advise somebody, the reason I have a problem with this is because I think a lot of us on this journey can identify that we sometimes get guidance to do things, so we do it, and it doesn't go in any way, shape, or form how we would like it to go. So then we get angry and we're like, what, I didn't get it. I was guided to do this and it just went totally the opposite way and went so wrong. But we need to see things from the bigger picture, that sometimes that guidance, like we're always working towards union. We're always walking towards our greatest, highest potential. And you don't go backwards. You might seemingly go backwards in the moment, but your soul doesn't unevolve. Like once your soul has started evolving, it started evolving. So guidance, when you really feel to do something, it might not be to get what you want in the short term, but in the long term, it's taking you there. Because often guidance is just pushing you to heal your wounds, because we're all on a journey of trying to heal and come into balance. So your guidance, for example, if your lesson is to be rejected and to realize that it's not actually a rejection and that you're just rejecting yourself, then almost the more you can push through the fears of that and be rejected, the more chance you've got of healing that wound. So you might think, from a very 3D perspective, you might think, I don't get it. Like I was really guided to reach out and then I just got rejected. But you're just seeing it in the sort of 3D, when if you look at the greater perspective, you've taken a step forwards in your healing by healing a rejection wound, and you're actually getting closer to union. So it's very much about non-judgment. This whole journey is about non-judgment, but that is also included in giving advice to others. Like I used to coach people and I used to advise them and give them advice because I'd see things from an out perspective, and I'd see that blatantly if they did something, I'm also very intuitive as well. I'd see that if they did something, something would happen, but I don't know their individual soul journey. Only really we know our own individual soul journeys. People can have a stab at it and people can get reasonably close, but only you know your actual full soul journey. So by asking or by taking advice or by giving advice, this can become quite a problem because you might be avoiding your soul journey, which is to heal from something going wrong. And this is why I feel differently now about how to coach people from my own perspective. It's more a case of listening to people and allowing them to process themselves and proffering questions and things for them to consider. And yeah, you can sort of offer a perspective, but ultimately people have to make their own decisions because their soul knows their ultimate path for healing. And by telling people what to do, you're kind of taking that away from them. And you're taking away from them what their soul knows they need to go through to come into union, to come into inner union, and then, experience the ultimate thing for them on this life path. So this is why I now have different views on how to help people through this journey. But it also applies to yourself as well, that's why sometimes it's about letting go of the mind and just letting the heart guide without judging what happens. Because how many times on this journey do we do stuff and we just get really angry with some outside source like God, creator, whatever, and we say, oh, I can't believe it, like I was guided to do this and it's just gone the opposite way and I'm so angry and I'm never taking advice again. But really, we're taking the advice of our own soul, of our own higher self, which knows our perfect path to be healed this lifetime. So in many ways, the quicker we listen to it, the quicker we can heal, because you can't go backwards. A big problem is believing that you can ruin your union or ruin a relationship, because it just can't happen. Once you really believe in energy and you know that when you balance your energy, you will be in a balanced situation, and when you put yourself above, having to please others, and you say, I want to be accepted for who I am, above being accepted by somebody else, about having to change myself to be accepted by somebody else, then you step into a powerful position and you can follow the guidance of your soul over desperately needing advice on how you can fix the situation or make it work. So yeah, that's my video for today. And it's so easy to give it, it's so hard to do, because when you see somebody and you kind of know that they're making the wrong move, you just want to say to them like, no, and you want to stop them and tell them what to do and how to write their email and write their text for them and stuff. And I've done all that, done it loads of times for my friends, and I've had people do it for me. And it just doesn't really get you or them anywhere, because ultimately they have to go through, and you can surely offer a perspective, that's fine, but people have to go through their own soul path and their own soul journey and heal their wounds. So sometimes there are no shortcuts to that, and you have to go through the heavy path. And so yeah, that's my little thought of the night.